So let's get more on this story and how the politics has evolved, as it does rapidly in the US right now, with our senior writer at Bloomberg, Stephanie Baker, who keeps, of course, a firm and close eye on all things US politics. So Harris and Walz pulling in these huge crowds, and our team on the ground who have been attending them saying that they do compare to the kind of rallies that you see and the kind of enthusiasms you see from Trump rallies. Certainly a long way from what Biden was pulling in terms of the attendance, the enthusiasm. You have celebrities on stage as well in the warm-up acts. Is this sustainable, do you think?
Yeah, it's really interesting because people are now comparing the kind of crowds that she's pulling in to the enthusiasm behind Obama in 2008, that we haven't actually seen this kind of energy in the Democratic Party for over a decade, almost 2 decades even. So I think that it's a question, can she keep this up? Obviously, you win elections not just by enthusiasm and energy on the campaign trail, but at the ballot box. So, the crowd size, doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. So I think it's important to still keep an eye on the polls.
Yeah, it reminds me of when you go to party conferences in the UK and people say, well, it went down really well in the room. And you think, well, of course, it goes down really well in the room, but it's how it goes down in other places that maybe matters more. Critics then complain that Harris has avoided interviews. We just saw her taking a few questions on the tarmac there. Is this a valid concern? Is she not answering questions that people have as frequently as you would expect somebody to in this position?
Yeah, well, the Harris camp response to that is that she's only been the nominee for 2 weeks, and she's had a very busy schedule. She had to pick a VP. She had to, plan for the convention and plan to introduce, Walz to the nation, and that she will be giving interviews in due time. So we'll wait to expect that, in the coming weeks, perhaps after the debate. I'm not sure, maybe before. I think the real question is, how does she perform when under pressure on the big policy issues? Can she keep up that kind of momentum that she has on the stump? She gives great speeches at these rallies. She's really able to kind of, rile up the crowd behind her. Can she withstand the pressure under scrutiny?
And we'll get a better sense, I would assume, of that question when they do this debate, and it's been agreed. So September the 10th is the debate time, and we've obviously been reminded this year of just how crucial those debates can be. What is your thinking around that and how that could evolve, how consequential that could be?
Well, the political roller coaster that we've been on for the past month has just taken everyone by surprise with twists and turns that no one could have predicted. The debate is obviously very consequential, could be as consequential as the debate between Biden and Trump that upended the race. I think both Harris feels confident and has been demanding Trump agree to this debate. Trump finally did, in fact, agree to it. Is he able to stick to the script, or does he go off into meanderings like we saw at the press conference last night and attack her in a nasty way that backfires on him? That's the thing to watch.
Yes, and talking of that press conference yesterday, what did you take away from that? From the market's perspective, a lot of focus on things he said about the Fed and how he should have other presidents, but also just him, how he should have more of a say on what interest rate policy looks like in the US. But away from, is that what you took away, Stephanie, or were there other things to watch?
It was so meandering, and he lied so many times, everything from, boasting. He seemed obsessed with his crowd size, and I think that the crowds that Harris has been able to pull out seems to have really rattled him.
And that goes right back to when he was first inaugurated, doesn't he? That was a big debate.
Exactly.
The size of the crowd that attended that.
And the most incredible thing is when he compared his January 6th crowd size to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, which people thought was really, beyond the pale. I think some critics are saying that the sign that he called this press conference is, the best signifier that he is really rattled by the Harris campaign and wants to try to regain the limelight and feels comfortable giving these sort of meandering press conferences as a way of, regaining attention.